Hello, 'tis I, Fat Cow. The foodie booties are multiplying. They're everywhere. And that is one of the more flattering angles for my latest Frankenstein's abomination, which is Cuba Rage Foodie. Yeah. She's bloody gorgeous. Anyway, I digress. A lot of stuff has been happening, none of which would hold up in a court of law. Of course, none of this is what I would consider concrete evidence. Do I think she's in Canada? Possibly. More likely than not. But that's not actually the issue at hand. We know she lies. We also know that for the last 4 weeks she has repetitively stressed how she isn't going to Canada for Christmas. I mean, the lady doth protest too much. The big question is, can she get back into Kuwait? I think that's the issue in hand. And of course, we will not know until she tries. I think it's going to be difficult. And should the month pass and she still hasn't got the necessary paperwork to get back in, will she come online and admit, yeah, you're right, I'm in Canada? Will she admit she can't get in? No. She'll say she's staying for her health. So what has been going down in Foodie Beauty's absence? Which incidentally proves that in the absence of Foodie Beauty, life goes on. Even Foodie Beauty life goes on. So, we have some internet person sending out a link to establish IP addresses and identification and locations of said IP addresses, which quite frankly is way above my capabilities when it comes to anything electrical. Which is basically, if I spend any amount of time in the presence of an electrical device, it will eventually die. It's probably my magnetic field. I'm joking, sort of. So, according to this person who wants to remain anonymous, which isn't suspicious, but hey ho, 2 IP addresses were established, one in Kuwait and one in Cornwall, Canada, on an Android device, probably a phone. Well, we know she uses Android. We know her family's in Cornwall. Do we know it was her who used the phone? No. But, you know, as evidence goes, it's not bad. It's not bad. Said wouldn't hold up in a court of law. Absolutely no way. Other things have been going down. Aisha, lawyers. Apparently a lawyer has tried to serve Foodie with papers regarding charges of child endangerment, and has failed to serve papers at what is believed to be Chantel's address, an address that was tracked through where their car was registered to, only to find out that the apartment is rented under a different person's name, a male, presumably a single male, and that the building, the family building of which they reside in is for workers only. Now, it was pointed out by some other commentators that sometimes we hear children in the corridor. Well, not all workers are single. Surely some workers would have their family staying with them? Or maybe their family visits? It's not beyond the realms of possibility that there are some families there. It might not be an allocated family building, but we've heard children. So, Foodie is in a building, allegedly, where her Temu car, or the Temu car, or their Temu car, is registered to, but there is no indication whatsoever that she actually lives there, or Salah actually lives there. Their car lives there though, so I don't know where the car's earning the money to rent an apartment, but hey ho, that's sarcasm. And suddenly the guy in charge of the building has blocked said lawyer. So, lots of speculation, lots of conspiracies. There is the entering of Kuwait on a visa, a tourist visa still, because she does not qualify for any other type of visa whatsoever, and you cannot convince me otherwise, where Foodie will have to physically in person present her passport with the multiple stamps indicating frequent, regular and very timely exits and entrances over a 2-year period. If, I think it's a pretty big if, I think it's more unlikely that she'll get in than she would, but who knows, maybe this Wasta guy is real, in which case Foodie wouldn't even need a tourist visa, because she would get a certificate of marriage that would be good enough to get residency and civil IDs, or would get civil IDs and residencies before getting, the bundle, the trifecta, the, special offer on residing in Kuwait. So no, I probably haven't got a Wasta that can get her in. Even if she did get in, allegedly there's some lawyer now on her tail trying to serve her with child endangerment papers. So, well, turns out we don't actually need to see Foodie Beauty to get Foodie Beauty content. I think this would be the best outcome for Salah, because he can't be with Foodie and in a relationship with Foodie, and it's not his fault. It's not like they had an argument and he pissed her off, if this is what's happening. It's also the best case scenario for Foodie, because if she goes back to Kuwait, 3 things will happen. 1, her channel will die, because people hate the Kuwaiti arc. They hate it. 2, her health, which has deteriorated significantly in the last year, is going to get even worse. Did I say 3 things? Because I can't think of a third. Or I can think of a third, but it's a touch morbid. So you're just going to have to guess what I'm implying. Foodie in Canada, though, she will, in a few months, have a lot of access to a lot of resources that will fix her up. However, she also has access to a lot of things that can really F her up even more, especially given a dodgy heart and a blood sugar issue that can be greatly exacerbated. That sounds rude. You know what I mean. By the munchies. And we all know what the munchies are caused by. Not that Foodie needs help to get the munchies. So, well, curiouser and curiouser. What do I think? I think it's more likely than not that she's in Canada. But I think that given that we know she is a pathological liar, it's not actually that big a deal. I think she's probably going absolutely effing insane at the moment, not being able to get on the old YouTube and defend herself against us horrible people speculating all over the place. Excuse me. And I think the biggest issue is going to be whether or not Foodie can get back into Kuwait, and more importantly, squeak, whether she should even try to get back into Kuwait. Anyway, it is the eve of the Christmas. Felicitations to those who celebrate. I'm off to see my mother because I don't celebrate. We know this, but that doesn't mean I don't go and see my family who do. And that's it. Take care, you lovely, lovely people, and keep an eye out for tomorrow, where a fictitious sort of little treat is in store for you guys, and my audiobook voice. Hint, hint.